We gonna talk about Roland Martin and King Randall. Heated debate. This is a oldie but goodie. I just seen this. Caught my attention. I was doing a video about Umar Johnson's school, and I came across this because I wanted to show how Umar Johnson, which that video is coming out soon, how King Randall's everything that Umar Johnson wish he could be if he actually gave a care about the children, as he say. I don't know if my audio was good. Drop a 1 in the comments to let me know if y'all can hear me loud and clear. And if y'all ready to start this thing.
You guys' fight. First of all, there are multiple fights, there are multiple issues we could be concerned about.
Yes, sir. I vote. Absolutely.
Okay, so when you say you guys' fight, first of all, there are multiple fights, there are multiple issues we could be concerned about. Voting is one of those issues. Are you not concerned that Republicans in your state are trying to restrict access to the ballot for no reason other than they are pushing the lie that Donald Trump also pushed?
Right, absolutely. I understand exactly what you're saying. However, again, that's not my fight. I believe.
No. I asked you a question. Ask you a question. And the question is this here. Do you believe Republicans in your state are wrong to be pushing this voter suppression bill?
Can you give me the list of things that's all on the bill? Because I know you said the voter ID.
Well, no. Here's a perfect example. This particular bill right here gets rid of no excuse absentee balloting. Republicans in Georgia passed no excuse absentee balloting 15 years ago, thinking it was going to help them. They're angry because you had people who voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and also John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock won. So they're changing the law because they're angry they lost at the ballot box. But for 14 years, it was fine until last year. Is that, again, do you consider that to be egregious on the part of Georgia Republicans? Why would they change the law because they lost? How about making a better argument for the voters?
I agree with you. I do. I agree with you. I'm not against you there. I definitely think that is an issue that I believe you guys could fight. But that, again, voting is not my issue to fight. I believe.
So what's your issue to fight?
My issue, I fight for young black men before they die. And that's what I do in my organization. I do teach them to vote, but I don't tell them that voting is going to be the be all end all.
No one says the be all the end all, but it's a.
I gotta agree with him right there. Is that he actually got a school. He got a program called the School for X down in Albany, Georgia, if I'm mistaken. And he's actually teaching them life skills, stuff that you actually need in your day to day and stuff. And Roland Martin, it all came out after the election that they was paying him. The Democratic Party was paying him the whole time. They put hundreds of thousands of dollars into his pocket to push their agenda to help with their campaigning. So real people that got the boots on the ground, he's trying to come at them because he's not going with them. He's not feeling the whole we need to wait for a savior. He feel like we could do it ourselves. Let's hear him out.
Part of it.
But you guys promote voting like it's just gonna change like the systemic outlook of the black community. That's not where it's at. We have to get out and go do for self in our own communities.
So define do for self.
When I say do for self, you shared one of my tweets, my videos, and I was actually a big fan of yours, but you shared one of my tweets when I said black people need to stop begging the government and go and do for self out in our communities. You shared the video and called me an idiot. I didn't see anything idiotic about that statement at all.
So when you say do for self, like what? Explain that.
Okay, for example, here in Albany, Georgia, we complain about our school systems a lot. Many of our young men can't read. They have very horrible literacy rates. We don't have any rehab programs here for juvenile offenders. What I decided to do, I started a program 2 years ago, decided to do for self, and I started taking children into my home. I started taking custody of kids from juvenile court, and I started molding them and training them and teaching them skilled trades, etc. Now I'm 21 years old. I just purchased a school here in Albany, Georgia to combat us being in the government-funded schools that are not teaching our children what they need to learn. So that's what I mean by do for self, simply getting up and going out and do it.
So
I beat the stereotype that I'm young black in America and I can't do anything because somebody's holding me down. Absolutely not.
So a question.
Teenagers went and go ahead. Me and some teenagers went and bought a school, and we just bought a school bus simply from going out and doing work. We decided to go fix our own communities. I'm not expecting anything from no politician. I'm not expecting nothing from Donald Trump, Joe Biden, or nobody. We're gonna go do it for ourselves, and that's what I believe we need to be doing. I can vote, sure, but nothing's gonna change in our community.
So you went to the juvenile court system. Mm-hmm. Is that not government?
Absolutely.
So when you say,
so you see how he tried to gaslight him. He said his whole goal is to stop children from going through the system, from getting in trouble, for getting locked up. That's his goal, is to stop them from going through the system. So if he's trying to save the children, right? Why wouldn't he go to the courts and try to get them out of the court system and help rehabilitate them and actually give them some rehabilitation? Like, Roland Martin is disingenuous with that, but let's hear him out with his BS.
So you went to the juvenile court system. Mm-hmm. Is that not government?
Absolutely.
So when you say purchased a school, and this school is going to be what? Private school, charter school? What kind of school is it going to be?
No, it will be independently owned. This will not be funded by the government.
No, that's why I asked you. So it's going to be a private school?
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be a boarding school.
A boarding school. And then for the folks to be able to afford to send their kids to the boarding school, what kind of mechanisms are they using in Georgia? Their own funds? Are they using school vouchers? What are they using?
I can't hear you. Say that again for me.
I said, what mechanism are they using to send their kids there to pay for the school? Their own money, or are they utilizing vouchers from the Georgia government?
Absolutely. So for our school, we're financed completely by donors. We have many donors that have given yearly endowments to our school that will be able to pay for these students to come to our school for free. Many people believe in our mission, and we're making sure that young black men, where we live, where we don't have any rehab programs for juvenile offenders to even get out of jail and stay out of jail, we have people that believe in our mission that are trying to send children to the Extra Boys for free. We have many people that are trying to send kids to this boarding school to be able to take care of themselves. That's what I mean by doing for self. We got to simply get up and do it.
So you don't believe that government policymakers play any role whatsoever in being able to impact the lives of black boys and others in Georgia?
If we take them out of that government system, we don't have to worry about that. I keep saying.
How is that? So no, hold on. So here's the question. Hold up. Here's the question. Mm-hmm. How do you remove someone out of a government system when we all live in government systems?
Yes, sir. I vote. Absolutely.
Okay. So when you say,
you see how he's trying to be disingenuous with the young man, like. We know, I think at a minimum, when he was getting paid by the Democratic Party, it was at least what I think they said like $400,000 or something like that they gave him to let them do the interviews and go through. He got fired from TV One, or was it TV One? Whatever, because TV One I think is his joint that he had now. But he got fired the last time because he was giving the debate questions ahead of time to Hillary. All right. We know Roland Martin is disingenuous and he's not really trying to look out for the community. He's trying to look out for lining his pockets. And I think that shit is very sad that this middle-aged, high-calorie man didn't want to give to the young brother and trying to discourage him that's actually going out there and trying to save the youth and stop them from being repeat offenders. He's too busy trying to break them down. And I understand what he's trying to say. He's trying to say, hey, of course, we live in a government system. We're in America, but we can help all the stuff that's in our control. Let's control it. And we can save our kids. We can save our children. We don't have to wait for somebody to come save us when we can do it ourselves. And he's 21 years old. He's at this time, I think he's like 24, 25 now, but he was a child at the time, a young adult at the time, who went and purchased a school, purchased land, purchased a school bus. And then you got people like Roland Martin with all these degrees. You got people like Umar Johnson with all these degrees that have been robbing the community for millions of dollars. They're not holding them accountable. They don't care about that. They just want to hold one of the few young men that's out there that's doing something. He's not in the street. He's going against the stereotypes Me personally, I wouldn't give a damn if he was a conservative, whatever. I respect that he's actually putting in work to try to help and make a change. We're gonna go to the next video. Now, this is what made me wanna actually talk about him, because that's when you realize these old fake coons, they sit there and the old system that want to keep us oppressed, but they act like they helping us. This young man does his thing and comes up with solutions, while they just want to talk about problems all day and make us scared. And if we ain't how can I put it? They want us so scared about like the Republicans and this and that. I don't care for none of them. I don't have no political ties. Let's hear it.
Oh, y'all, so I was on Instagram a little bit earlier and I came across this video. And then I watched this video and I said, I know I am not seeing what I'm seeing. So I need you to play the video I saw on Instagram. I need you to, y'all don't have the video? I sent you the link to, okay, all right, let me play the video myself. Because y'all, I saw this video, when I say I was hot, when I saw it, I said, I can't believe what I'm seeing. This nonsense that I'm seeing from this person right here. Posting on.
All this extra energy he got for this young man, but he never take it to go to Planet Fitness. You notice that? His fat ass never go to Planet Fitness or some type of gym or go do 10,000 steps where he could argue with a goddamn 22-year-old, 23-year-old.
Instagram. And I'm like, I know that is not who I think it is posting what he just posted. And then I looked at it and I said, oh, that is him. I can't believe he posted that video. So let me go ahead and show y'all this, because I want y'all gonna trip. Y'all gonna trip. Watch this video.
Is closing here in the city of Albany, and that leaves us with a little over 500 students that were here on this campus, and 19% of those students are labeled as homeless. We have a little over 250 jobs that'll be leaving the city of Albany. And while this is not the city of Albany government's fault, this is a time for our local and state leadership to step up, because we'd be stupid to act powerless in this situation. Because while this school is still here, while this building is still here, while this campus is still here, what could this become? Could this become a Southwest Georgia regional hub for trade skills training? Could this become something major that the city brings on to start training workforce? Because if we're training workforce, then we can invite industry to come here. But if we don't have any workforce for industry, they'll never come. But if Doherty County school system could train workforce in adults, why can't the city of Albany do the same thing? So my question to leadership is, are we going to allow this opportunity now to pass us by? Or are we going to lead? Are our leaders going to lead? And if they don't want to lead, they need to step aside and let somebody else do it.
Oh, he said that if our leaders are not going to lead, they should step aside and let somebody else do it. That's interesting. Now, when I saw it, I remember when he came on this show after he was going at me on Twitter when he was supporting the Republicans in Georgia voter suppression bill, and he was talking shit with another black conservative. Then they say, well, he ain't gonna never put us on the show. And I invited his ass on the show. Then he tried to change his tune when he came on the show. Roll it. Joining us right now is King Randall, one founder of the X for Boys organization based out of Georgia. So King, explain why in the world, you're conservative, correct?
Yes, sir.
So please explain to me why this bill, why Republicans are pushing for a voter suppression bill when last year. All right, y'all. So I was on Instagram.
You know, it's crazy to see this old high-calorie man rooting for this young boy to fail, when, as I go through the comments on this video, when somebody asked a real question, what has Roland Martin done for any young kids? Absolutely nothing. Another lady, Smiley. That's right, Randall. Help make things happen in the community. Somebody said Roland's gonna hold you accountable. They say you need to hold yourself accountable instead of picking on a young man who is helping young men and his political party constantly annoyed. So in other words, how are you bashing this young man for trying to clean up his community and trying to provide for his community while the Democratic Party doesn't do anything for the community? One guy says it best. So let me get this right. Here's a young black man trying to invest into our youth with little to no help, and here you are taking things personal because you have a different political view. We all should stand behind him and provide different resources from our community to build him up, not bring him down. We have let voting Democrat divide us and other people. Help this young man help other young people. I agree with him, bro. We letting political views divide this whole country. It don't even matter if you're the black community, white community, or in between. We are letting simple political views, or my opinion, differ from your opinion, and we're letting it divide us, and we're letting us make us feel that we're less than, you know, when we all need to just take a second back, see the situation that we're dealing with right now as a whole in this country, and try to unify by the best means we can. But it's crazy to see somebody like Roland Martin find pleasure in tearing down a part of the black community, but then he'll scream that he's for the black community and this and that. But he always take pleasure in them "I told you so" moments, or wanting to see failure within our community. You always see him do that shit. That he always act like he's for us, and then you find out later that the agenda that he was pushing, he was getting paid to do it. And then he gonna sit there and gaslight you like all these other companies just taking money. We don't want to hear that. If you believe in a candidate, they don't gotta pay for your beliefs. You should be contributing to them because you believe in it.
I'm voting for Kamala Harris for president. Now that I have your attention, that same energy you got for somebody who's voting for Donald Trump, you can go put it in your local community. You don't know your city councilman. You don't even know what ward or district you stay in, but they got you so hyped up about the presidency, and they do this every year strategically to keep you distracted from what's really going on. Your local politicians know you don't care nothing about what they're doing, and that's what affects your everyday life. Stop being so caught up behind this dang on presidential election and focus on your local politics. It's kids that can't read. It's people that need help. It's local boards that you could get on to affect your everyday life. It's you can go visit a city commission meeting, your county commission meeting, and go to your board of education and see what's going on. Most of their meetings are public and you have no clue about it. Go figure out who your superintendent is. Go figure out who your county commissioner.
That's a good point too, man. Most people don't understand that their local government dictate a lot of their everyday life. And the only time they want to vote is every 4 years, instead of going out in their community and demanding change and demanding their political representatives to actually stand up and do their damn job. Because the only time you see them is when it's time for elections.
Your county chairman. Go figure all that out before you worried about befriending your friends and letting go of your family members because of the dang on presidential election. Focus on self. Do for self. Do for your own community, and stop waiting on the president to do something for you that you could do for yourself. I'm voting for Kamala Harris for president.
Do you believe in the power of voting? Do you think it's not important?
I believe it's important. I believe it's a tactic, but as far as it changing anything like major in our communities, absolutely not. There's no one piece of legislation paper or anything that a law or
I disagree with that. I believe that legislation and laws change everything. We wouldn't even have the Civil Rights Act if we didn't get out there and vote and demand that we get his civil liberties. So, I mean, I do disagree with that. I feel that we should go out and vote, and we should. But I feel we need to hold our vote hostage, and we need to actually get these politicians, these fake ass community leaders and all of them to stand up and actually demand some tangibles for our doggone vote, you know? That's what I believe in.
Vote has done to change anything major in our communities. Actually,
what's up, my guy?
Absolutely. Our
Civil
communities.
Voting rights act. Affirmative action.
I don't care about no representation. Go look at our communities. I don't care about being represented in government. I don't care how many black faces you put in a high place. It's still owned by those same people who want to keep us down. So I don't care about those black faces in high places. If we don't own those high places or run those high places, I don't care who's in there. I don't care about representation. That means nothing to me. I believe in the things that we own. We can have a whole black school board, but who owns that school board?
What up?
So I'm just like, we have.
What up, Dominique? Appreciate you tuning in, my brother.
create our own systems, create our own banks, hospitals, etc.
Do you believe in the power of voting? Do you think it's not important?
I believe it's important. I believe it's
Yeah, man. Roland Martin, I noticed that, man, especially after that last election and we found out that he was on the take and he was getting paid for all this stuff, that I realized he wasn't for us. He was for lining his pockets. And he just want everybody to vote Democrat. I feel, personally, we need to get rid of both of the political parties and start fresh. Start fresh. And like, I'm an independent, and I noticed that they make it so hard for anybody else to get on the ballot to give you any options, because a lot of people think that it was only 2 people in the whole thing. Like Jill Stein was there, a lot of people was fighting, and then it's a reason why they fight so hard to keep other people off the ballot.
So when we talk about,
yes, sir, I vote absolutely.
Okay, so when you say
You can
my
see
granddad always told me growing up. He always
21-year-old buys 40 acres of land and builds a school for boys. Umar Johnson literally collected millions of dollars and ain't produced nothing but them abandoned fucking buildings. It's not even a school, and this dude is out there actually doing the work, and he did it at 21, and this dude is 50 something and ain't do nothing.
said on some dirt. And so I know a lot of people are always asking, you know, how you 21 years old and you know so much, or what are you able to teach your boys? And I'm just like, well, when you have male figures in your life, they're able to teach you a lot of these things. Growing up, we've always been taught to like wallow in our defeat. And, you know, I can't go do anything, you know, because something's going to happen to it, or, you know, but that's kind of what history has taught some people. But I'm just like, well, why don't you just watch what they were doing and watch their mistakes and not make those? On 40 acres of land I just purchased for my boys in the program. And I know a lot of us, especially in our community, we always heard about that 40 acres and a mule that we've been asking for. Well, I decided to go take it.
Yeah, man. So that's how I even heard about King Randall, is because O'Shea Duke Jackson, I think he did a reaction saying how Umar beated him out of his airfare. He's supposed to come talk to the boys, and he beat him out of his money and beat him out of his airfare, and told him that because he won on what the hell was that? Because he put it on social media and put him out there that he stole from him, that he's not going to pay him all his money when he backed out like the day before or something. But it's just crazy how he did that young man like that instead of working with him, because that could have been an extension. He could have helped, to tell the truth, he could have helped with FDMG, but I know Umar don't like him because he accept donations from everybody. He's not just accepting donations from black people, and he is accept people helping out, volunteering from all across demographics. So, you know, he's more about unity and not division like Umar Johnson, but he went to division so that he don't gotta have accountability. Yeah, man. I remember when DL Hughley went so hard at him, at Ice Cube, for trying to get something for us. And Roland Martin, like I said, he's on the payroll. And the part that killed me with DL Hughley, like, he used to spit some like real stuff, but then you realize that he was full of it. And then when I heard that interview where he was talking about how he had a kid and he was happy when the kid passed away, I can't have respect for nobody like that, man. I can't have no respect for somebody like that when they come like that. And it's crazy because even inside of this shit, that's why I say we need to get rid of all these political parties. Like, even inside of the comments and this, it's people like, oh, he's not a Republican, he just want Republican money. Oh, don't donate to him, we need this. Oh, like, it's so many people that's hating on him, it makes no sense.
gentlemen, help me welcome Mr. King Randall. My pleasure.
Greetings, everyone.
Oh yeah, I see. He
I am
showed you
King
your
Randall I,
donations.
the founder of the Extra Boys program,
and a proud student from the Inside Out School of Etiquette public speaking class. During my sessions, I will make every effort to overcome the fear and intimidation because I am good enough and I believe in myself. I will not be intimidated by any audience member because they are no better than I am or more deserving to be in this room. Therefore, I will shine and deliver my speech with confidence. I now believe I have the confidence to deliver a speech with ease while demonstrating the protocols learned. I am grateful for this opportunity to develop my public speaking skills. Again, I am King Randall. Thank you so much for your attention.
Roland Martin, okay. If y'all remember a few years ago when he and King Randall, who's from Albany, Georgia, they got.
That's the thing too. Like, we see King Randall out in the community, and like, if I was starting a school, right? Let's say I was Umar Johnson, right? If I was starting a school, I will take help from every direction that's legal, and I would have no problem being transparent and showing people where the money's going, where it's coming from. Like, I would be completely transparent. Some of the money I would have took and put it into training for the staff that I want to come work at the school. And then it shouldn't even be a mystery if he's qualified or not to, if he got the degrees or he got anything, you know what I mean? Because it should be, especially when he be in there doing all his stupid lives and they say, yo, you're not a doctor. He should be able to just go right over to the side, pick up his degree and be like, yo, blah, 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 here goes my degree. But he can't do that because I don't think he got one. I think he might got a bachelor's and all that joint, maybe I don't know. I don't know if it's true if he got it or not. I can't call it, man. I know I looked up if he was a principal and I couldn't find anywhere where he was a principal at. Not one. I could not find not one. Yeah, I couldn't find nowhere that said he was a principal. And I was searching like hell the other day. Should have been working, but I was searching. That's like if somebody be like, Uncle Mo, you ain't got a degree. It should be as simple. If you at home and it should be as simple as this. I cover my government, but you should be able to just go right there and pull it up, you know? And it should say, you know, I got my joint, what? Supervision and management. I got my joint, you know? And I'm working on my organizational leadership degree, but it should be as simple as that. He's some most requested scholar and all these people is asking for him, but it's crazy a dude that's like, shit. Yeah, half his age is doing more than he ever did for anybody. Let me get some of these chats up here. Boom, what's up? Welcome to the tribe. Yeah. Peace. Yeah, but he's not transparent on. Like, I seen recently, before the school year started, people donated book bags and stuff, and he went live and showed him packing it up, and even the extra supplies he got, like toiletries and stuff, he sent it home to their parents and stuff. And I see him actually teaching the young women and the young boys on how to do regular life stuff, change brakes, change oil, build walls, electricity, like electrical work, like actually giving back to the community and trying to be the change that we all cry for, instead of, you know, just talking about some shit, you know? What's up, sir? I'm here in Albany. I want to remind everybody that was Florida. It was one person who helped the military promotions because he got all up in his. Oh, that's who held up the military. Well, I will say this. I don't know about every branch, but I know in the Navy, the daggone, they said because of the government shutdown, the promotions didn't come out The results ain't come out for the Navy because of the government shutdown. Now, how true that is, I don't know. But that's what they put out to us, because it would have came out Thanksgiving week, the latest, and it still ain't out. Let me see. Nice to get rid of. Yeah, man. I've been meaning to go live for a long time, man. I went live the other night, but I went real late. Yeah, but I searched everywhere to see where Umar Johnson was a doggone school principal, because I don't think he ever was a school principal. I think he just talking out his ass. I don't think he was a school principal at all. And then like you said, this right here stands out the most, Dominic. Why don't he do any giveaways? Remember he did that whole speech about he ain't gonna be able to psychologize everybody, that some people gotta be put to sleep for good. I seen more of the thugs that he talk crazy about. I seen more of them give back to the community, do book bag drives, give away food than he give. And it's so crazy because all the money that he get in donations, he wouldn't even feel it if he was to like give back to the community for that. And then that would drive more people that want to come help out there. Like when I tell you, when I've been to that school, the people in the neighborhood seem nice, you know. It's in the hood, but it's like a block over from the hood, and like it's its own little entity by itself. But it ain't like how he made it seem, you know. Yeah, man. Like everybody gives back to the community, but him, man. Here we go. Let's start here.
Went to a discussion on this show when King Randall, he was known as a young black Republican, but he was saying he wanted to build a school for children. He wanted to become self-sufficient, and he wasn't worried about or waiting on the government to do anything for him when he can get out here and help his people himself. And Roland Martin was just telling him that he's too optimistic, he's aiming too high, what he's doing is ridiculous, and all this other nonsense. It was nonsense then, a couple years ago, but ever since then, King Randall has opened the school. He does run programs in his hometown for young men. He coaches up his son's baseball team. He's done so much for his community. And also, just recently, due to Trump's administration, whatever they're doing with Job Corps, King Randall posted a video saying that it's not due to his state and local government of why Job Corps is shutting down, but now's the time to band together with state and local government to do something about it. So if the Job Corps isn't going to be around, let's find more programs to help our young adults or our young children. Let's band together and figure out ways to get them working, to get them more educated, whether it be education directly or in trade school. He was just saying now it's time to hunker down, band together, and really figure things out. Roland Martin saw that and said, why didn't you mention President Donald Trump by name in the video? He didn't acknowledge that that young man is doing things in his neighborhood and in his community. He didn't acknowledge that he's willing to do the work. He didn't acknowledge that yet local and state governments do still exist that can make more of an impact in their community than the federal government. And if the federal government is going to make this decision, what do you want them to do? Just lay over and cry? It was, again, one of the most insane things I've ever seen. Somebody is taking, not accountability, but they're taking life by their own hands and saying that we need to band together as a community. And you just say, you didn't say Trump's name. You didn't blame Trump. That wasn't his point. I don't even know if King Randall likes Trump. I don't care. What we do know is King Randall loves his people and loves his community. I respect my elders, but I honestly don't know what Roland Martin was thinking with making that response video on his platform. I just don't know what he was thinking.
Yo, Roland Martin's always in his emotions, bro. He's always in his emotions. That's the problem. And like, I don't care if you're a Republican, you're a Democrat, you're independent, Jewish, you Muslim, you're Christian, you're Baptist. If we're for the community, it's gonna take people across all of those barriers to make it better, bro. And like me, I ain't gonna lie, I live in a predominantly mixed suburban area, you know? I'm from the hood, I'm from the Bronx. Where I live at now, I live in I'm in the military, so I got everybody lives by me and stuff, and we all chip in, we all look out for each other. And it's crazy how like people like Roland Martin, you have millions and millions of dollars, don't do nothing, but you're gonna knock somebody that's been given a all to put back into their community and stuff. And I'm telling you, I agree with you. The Democrats only show up when they want something for us. Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, I was pissed off when I seen old girl went to the Breakfast Club and she pulled out that hot sauce. So about she walk around with hot sauce in her pocket. I ain't never meet nobody, black or white, walking around with hot sauce in their damn pocket. And as far as Roland Martin being a little sassy, remember he was doing one of them debates and his screen like turned and it was a naked man on there. So fits the description, you know. He actually fit the description, so I went. Yeah, he's definitely bought and paid for. When they showed Kamala all her receipts for everybody she paid, ain't nobody really pushed the agenda that they really cared about her or really wanted her to be the president. Because if she ain't paid them, they wasn't trying to give no support, you know.
What's going on, family? This is King Randall. First of all, I know people have had a lot of questions about the actual school building itself. And what we were planning to do after the vandalism and after the storm came and damaged things. Our local city officials decided to come put us out last year. I told you guys about that. They deemed it unsafe for us to be there, even though, again, things were fine. We have a lot of work that we have to do to this building. We raised almost $1 million the year before the school started. And what we did, you know, with that, we made so much happen. Obviously, you can see the building looks 100% better than it did when we first purchased the location. We still have other projects that we're working on.
I'm telling you, I should have named this video King Randall is everything Umar Johnson is not, because look at that. Umar vandalized his own abandoned building that had his own stuff from his house in it. That, like, first off, Umar the only one in the year 2025 with a big back TV, bro. Like, that shit's probably like 80 pounds by itself. And then he had them whack ass Air Force Ones in there. And it looked like he threw the van. Like, I've been to the school, so there's no way in hell he was filming outside and didn't see nobody get into that damn raggedy ass abandoned building. So I don't know and kids is nothing like, when you over there, it's no reason like for kids to even play right there. They could play around the corner, they could go up the block. They wouldn't want to play on that dirty ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't believe him with that shit. But this dude's school was vandalized. He raised the money. We could clearly see he put it back into the school. Look at the grounds. The grounds are well kept. Like, and he's half the age of this dude, man. That's what's so crazy. He's half the age and twice the man he is. Yeah, remember when Roland Martin was doing that shit? His laptop flipped around and it showed that he did it. That's crazy, man. Umar called the cops on them kids. I'm telling you, I would say they his kids, but he don't care about his kids.
This is still a priority of ours. Our students are first priority. So we still have our office building location that we work out of. We're doing our book club and our after school program. We're putting basketball goals out there. We're getting painting done, landscaping for our students out on that side of town. But we're also still trying to expand to our south side of town where our 40 acres is and put a recreation center there. But we're also still worried about this location too. We're not losing it. We're not letting it go. This is still our building. This is still something that we're going to work on and something that we're going to use to make sure our students progress in the future. But thanks so much for all your support always. I just want to give you an update that you deserve, of course, to see where your dollars are.
Look at that. He giving you an update that you deserve. And he putting this out to everybody. He ain't say, if you ain't donating, you ain't getting nothing. He putting this out to everybody and letting them know, hey, I am letting y'all know I am transparent. I'm here to let you know this is the school. This is what we trying to do. This is where your money went. That's transparency right there. That's why I said he's half the age of Umar, but twice the man, man. Like, that don't make no doggone sense that he need to mentor Umar. That's what he need to do. He need to mentor Umar because Umar obviously wasn't raised by a strong male. Yeah, Umar wasn't raised by a strong male because Umar, he's a liar. He's a womanizer. He don't care about the black community. Don't let him fool you. This is his hustle. That pro-black shit is a hustle for Umar. He do not care about us. And believe it or not, I think if it ain't blow up with that Snow Bunny forever for him, he'd be messing with them on the low, man. He probably is already. But he would definitely be out there. That's why if you notice, he be changing his tune with a lot of stuff. Talk about, do they identify as black most of the time? Or like, he be moving the goalposts all around. But he don't got no standards, man. And